Good morning, patriots and freedom-loving Americans. Welcome back to The Finish Line. It is no secret that there is an epidemic of disillusioned young men in this country. In fact, I know some. I was one of them. And boomers like to scream their heads off about this crisis. Why aren't young men motivated? Why are they so directionless? Well, it might be that all the things that men want are now being taken out of grasp. And let me give you some examples. For example, when boomers lived, let's take the year 1965, the average home only required 3 entire years of your average yearly earnings. Now, it is double that number. It is 6 years of your average yearly earnings. It is doubly hard to afford a house than it was in the time of your grandparents. And that is seen in the numbers. The average age in 1965 to afford a house was 25. The average age now is 41. Yes, I am not joking about that number. It is 41. How about medical bills? In 1965, medical bills were about 4% of your yearly earnings you spent on medical bills. Today it is not double, not triple, not even quadruple, but 18% of your yearly earnings go to paying off medical bills. Let's take marriage. Young women aren't getting married. Men usually want to get married. The average age is slowly ticking up, going from 22 to 30. Women aren't having children either. In 1965, the average child rate was 2.72 per woman. Now it is a measly 1.58, under the replacement rate of 2.1. So if you're an older person wondering, why are young men so angry? Well, might be due to the fact that the entire system is rigged against them. And now that we look at that truth, there are 2 things that we can do. Number 1, play dead, ignore the problems, give up on life. That doesn't seem to be the biblical answer. Think about it. Would Jesus want you to do that? And number 2, try to change it. That's why I started Finish Line USA. Charlie Kirk did an amazing job in waking the country up from the delusion of liberalism that it had been in for years. But there's still a lot of work to be done. I originally created Finish Line USA as a political organization to get young men involved in politics and help fight against the things that are holding them back from living successful lives. But as I got to thinking, there's much more than politics to make a godly man. A man trying to change the world won't work unless he is right with himself. He needs to be strong, he needs to have confidence, and he needs to be a godly leader. He needs to be able to physically defend himself and physically defend his future spouse. So that's why I'm creating Finish Line Fitness. It is an arm of my organization that aims to help young men get back in the gym, eat healthy, build confidence, and get stronger. And so I welcome Shay Rutherford. Morning, Shay. How are you doing this morning?
Morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. So you weren't always into fitness. What made that transition from you being, completely... I remember there was a time that you really weren't into going into the gym and working out, and now you're, people would say, a gym rat. So where was the change?
Yeah, it's rather hard to track. Honestly, there wasn't really a light bulb moment with the gym. I remember it was shortly before I went off to college. You probably remember that. And I remember I was very worried that I was behind in life. And I wanted to make a switch, and I wanted to make a big change and kind of prove to myself something before I went off. My capabilities, maybe, I don't know. And then I remember I lost like 80 pounds in like 6 months or around there. And then I started being much more active. I would go to the gym almost daily during that time.
So from what to what? What pounds were you at, and then how did you get down?
I was probably, I remember I was 230. I think there was one time I was pushing 240. And then by the end, the leanest I got, I think I got down to 150, which was, that was a lot of weight to lose in such a fast amount of time.
Yeah.
It's like 15 pounds a month, probably more.
And what were the benefits from being 240 and then losing 80 pounds and being in the gym? What did you notice right away?
What I noticed right away, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so these effects probably wouldn't happen for everyone, or at least at a lower scale. My insulin sensitivity skyrocketed.
Really?
I probably had to use like probably like a fourth of the insulin I had to use before.
Right.
So that really helped. I remember my first off it was so weird because I lost all of this weight, so I became like less big in a sense.
Yeah.
But I was never stronger, So it was like a weird feeling of like getting smaller, but exponentially stronger at the same time.
And I bet it boosted confidence in a way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that was a big thing before, was just the crippling insecurity of being not morbidly obese, but really
Yeah.
really overweight.
Right.
And unhealthy.
Yeah, and so that's awesome. So how long was that like transition from being very unhealthy into feeling I'm confident now, I'm strong, I'm the strongest I've ever been?
Well, to be honest with you, it's kind of a pendulum. Like developing habits like that, it's hard to like stick with them 100%. I still have moments where I fall off. Like I'm really out of shape right now, coming off a vacation. Just eating whatever I want. I go on binges every now and then. It's not ideal for health, but in general, making the switch to a healthier lifestyle and making it about not only activity but diet and kind of living and breathing in a healthier way through your daily walk in life. I would say that it's an ongoing journey, and it's taken me probably 3 years.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, your story is really inspiring to me because, I have the opposite problem, mm-hmm. being a, really skinny guy that wasn't very strong. And I thought, I had the same thing. I was like, you know what? I need to get moving here. And, I need to force myself to go into the gym. I need to build this strength because it's the right thing to do. And it's only been about, probably 4 months since I started this journey.
Yeah.
And I'm already feeling better. I'm mm-hmm. seeing improvements. And I think a lot of these men are like, it's going to take too long. It's not worth it. It's too much of a fight. But I think the thing is that the improvements come quicker than you think they would. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what would be your message? Because I know so many young guys that are just not moving. They're just kind of giving up on their strength life. Like, what would you say to them?
Well, I'll answer that by, you brought up something earlier of thinking it'll take too long.
Right.
My message is, actually the funnest part about like your gym journey.
Right.
If we want to, I don't know, get hippie with it, but is the progress, like the progression phase. That's the best part. The journey of fitness, when I look back, was the funnest part. Just losing the weight, seeing radical changes occur. When I started like lifting more frequently, just seeing the muscle slowly build. It was so much fun. Like the building phase is where you get all the character, I think.
Discipline, waking up, going into the gym. Yeah,
because you don't look that good when you start.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like you're insecure and you're trying hard and the results aren't immediate, but that's what's really important about it, is not necessarily seeing results immediately and still working hard, still putting in the effort in hopes it will pay off. Not necessarily in hopes, but believing they will pay off eventually, and they will.
And they will
if you do the right things.
And quicker than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's important for men to get into the gym and build muscle?
There are plenty of reasons why it's important. Do you like for the average man to do it? Would you say?
Yeah, just in general, like, because there's a lot of people like, why do I need to go into the gym? I can, I can be a man in other ways. I can read the Bible, and why is this aspect so important in your view?
So health is important for everyone, for longevity, and for, like you said, confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But for men specifically, I think men need to have a baseline of physicality.
Yeah.
That kind of a physical vigor. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what guys are. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you're capable and strong. And this goes for men. This goes for everyone. But think about it. Like, how disappointing would it be? There were plenty of times, like joining a group of friends, going on a roller coaster where you exceed the weight limit. I've seen that happen. Yeah, but I've seen that happen with people who are morbidly obese. Friends, who big, they aren't able to come with us, and it's crushing. It sucks. Or like, think about it. Think about how you're gonna feel if your group of friends goes on a hike and you're like too worried you can't join. You know what I mean? It's demoralizing.
It's extremely demoralizing. A lot of feminists, there's this talking point. I think it's dying now, that since the rise of the manosphere and everything, but that, strong women and weak men are okay. It's okay if you're a weak man. What would you say to that?
I would never encourage anyone to be weak, men especially.
Yes.
There's nothing. there's nothing positive about being
weak.
There's nothing
right?
positive about it. I mean, like, if you know what I mean. If you just so happen to be a weak person because of like a medical condition, there's nothing wrong with you. But I'm just saying you should never set out to be weak.
Yeah.
Be the most capable, strong version of yourself. And like, the gym is just one way of unlocking that potential, I think.
Yeah. And I think, if you want to be a successful man, you have to be strong. I mean, it's built into our DNA and our genes to go out and do that and to go out and achieve. And that's, if you look at these videos of PE class back in the 50s versus now, you see a real difference.
I see that on Instagram all the time. Those kids are like shredded.
Yeah.
They're like doing like a weird thing. They're like climbing on that little. I don't know. It wasn't in school when I grew up. Unfortunately, that would have saved me some trouble down the line.
Yeah. Should we bring it back?
I think physical education, PE. Probably. Honestly, I think it should be a little more of like a mandatory pushed thing at school. Because I remember in middle school it was optional.
Really?
Yeah, it shouldn't be optional.
That's crazy.
At my middle school, I don't know if it's like that across the U.S., but at my middle school, you didn't have to take PE if you didn't want to, and I didn't want to because I was out of shape. But if it was mandatory and it was a little more intensive like that, I think it might be better overall.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. I hope to everybody that you start with building confidence, and confidence is the most necessary ingredient to success. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not strong, if you're weak, you don't feel confident. And if you're not confident, you're not going to be able to put yourself in situations where you're going to achieve, or situations that you're uncomfortable. And that's necessary for a leader moving forward. You'd agree with that statement, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get into specifics now. Since you're a gym rat, you know a lot about the gym. Like, how should a lot of people don't know how to get started because there's so much different advice. What does your workout schedule look like?
In terms of how many days a week I work out, in terms of...
Yeah, how many days a week, and then what do you hit on each day?
Okay, so currently the split I'm doing is kind of a push-pull legs and then upper split. So it's more kind of like a bodybuilding split right now. So I'm doing like chest, shoulders, triceps, back, or one day. The next day I do back, biceps, um, and it's more like lat focused the next day, and then I do legs, so hamstring squats and or quads, I mean, and then the next day I focus more so on like shoulders and arms and sometimes a weak area if I'm feeling like abs or something. And so currently I'm going 4 days a week, and I'm trying to cut right now. So I'm in a calorie deficit, and I'm trying to lose weight.
Okay, I see. So yeah, so structure it one more time just so the viewers really understand, like each day what you hit, because I think that's important. Get a schedule.
Yeah. I will say one thing: the split I'm doing right now, you don't need to do it exactly.
Right.
I could give you the split I did when I initially started, if that might help. Or do you want my current split that I'm using?
Well, I probably initial, because I bet there's a lot of people that want to just start out and
Yeah.
figure out
So
what exactly to do.
if we want to go as bare bones as possible, center your training, keep it basic around 3 compound movements. Do bench, squat, and deadlift. Make sure you have a hinge in there. Make sure you have a squat, and make sure you have a bench. So you're working your chest. The big compound movements. They hit most of the muscle groups, and they're really easy to progressively overload. Which that's the most important thing. Progressive overload. I don't know if your viewers are familiar with that, but it's just putting on strength and adding over a period of time, and that's how you build muscle and strength. So that's important. And then my first split I ever did was push pull legs. So that's kind of you get a compound in each of those. So push, bench, you work chest, shoulders, triceps, and then pull, you work back, biceps, and then legs, squat, work your legs.
Right. And yeah, that's the program I'm doing. I mean, you introduced it to me. It's been very successful so far. I'm getting gains. And yeah, so I'm going to tell the viewers now what we're going to do here is, so I'm starting this new organization, Finish Line Fitness. Shay is going to run it, and basically he's going to be a, gym rat influencer, basically.
A gymfluencer.
Gymfluencer, exactly. And so, you're going to go to him, and he's going to, demonstrate exercises, demonstrate the exact schedule, show people maybe even what, protein drinks to use. What do you think? Do you use a lot of protein shakes?
Yeah. No, I mean, I do. Honestly, any whey protein will work if you want. I use like Isopure protein powder sometimes. Oral, one of my other favorite brands is they come pre-made, Nuri, and then you just crack them open, and it's like 30 grams of protein. It makes things easy.
Right.
Just go to Costco, get a Costco card.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, it's good stuff. I know you said yogurt too is really...
Greek yogurt is a hack if you can eat it. I haven't met anyone who can't, but if you can, you're not allergic or it doesn't
yeah.
affect you, do Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt bowls are amazing. Super high in protein. Get your fruit in there. It's great.
Yeah, so if you're trying to gain weight, but, gain muscle weight, not water weight, you know what I mean, not bloated weight, would you focus on protein or I'm sure you'd focus on protein, right, over carbs?
No, actually.
Really? Okay.
So I'm the master of putting on bloated water add weight. I'm really good at doing that. Just because I love food.
Who doesn't?
I've struggled with that a lot, but we're getting there. But no, protein is like really important for bulking, putting on good weight, and for losing weight because it helps you maintain the muscle mass you've gained. And so it's really important for both. Just keep protein high in general, but bulking, you also want to get in more like fats, get in more healthy fats, get in more carbs as well, because you're gonna need carbs to fuel your workouts and really go hard.
Right.
Because if you don't have any carbs, your energy it's gonna be depleted.
Interesting. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so protein and carbs need to be kind of equally, or how is it equally balanced, or is it more?
It's not equally balanced. Honestly, I'm not an expert on nutrition. I would say just make sure like you get in it's about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150, try to get at least 100 grams of protein.
A day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you're trying to gain weight, and then make sure you're eating in a calorie surplus. You can actually track your maintenance calories by I believe it's multiplying your body weight times 15. Yeah, that's how you track your maintenance calories.
Oh, okay. And then you want a lot more than maintenance if you're trying to gain
Yeah.
weight. I mean, yeah.
Not a lot more, probably like a couple hundred more.
Okay.
Would do. If you do radically more, you'll start putting on weight more than you desire.
Yeah, you don't want that like thick.
Fat,
Yeah. Yeah, if you're trying to gain weight, the hardest thing is sitting down and forcing yourself to eat those calories. That can be a struggle. If you're a psycho like me, that's like gets super locked in working on the show or working on, my organization. Sometimes you like put off eating and then end up skipping meals. You cannot do that, right?
Yeah.
No skipping meals.
Especially for like a hard gainer like you. That's what you're called.
Right.
Hard gainer.
Right.
You have a really fast metabolism. I have a couple of friends like that where it's just hard to gain weight. So if you want to gain strength and muscle, it's not up for debate. You can't miss a meal.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the other hand, people that are trying to lose weight, what what is how rigorous does the exercise need to be? The cardio?
Yeah, no, it's really hard. It's mainly about diet. You can work your ass off as much as you want, but if you're not eating properly, you're not gonna see weight loss results as fast as you'd like. But cardio is important. I would recommend daily cardio, whether that be like a short walk. Right now, I'm just using the incline treadmill for like 20-30 minutes after each of my workouts.
Okay.
But the most important thing is being, like we were talking about, bulking, cutting, being in a calorie deficit. So you take your maintenance calories, so that's the calories you just eat every day to stay the same weight, and then eat under that. When I initially lost a ton of weight, I was in a huge deficit, and that's how I lost the weight so quickly. Probably try something a little more moderate. You can go like 500 less.
Okay.
I mean that'll still be pretty quick, but I wouldn't recommend going more than that, because you'll get tired really quickly, and you'll probably lose muscle and strength.
Right. And this is going to be great, guys, because he's constantly bulking and cutting. So if you're, a fat ass, you're going to be able to lose weight. And if you're a skinny shithead, then you're going to be able to gain weight with him each time, What's kind of your balance of months? Because I've noticed this. He bulks, and then he cuts, and then he bulks. How does that work?
Yeah, so for a couple years, it was really disorganized, to be completely honest with you. It was kind of intuitive. I just wanted to start eating what I wanted, because I got so sick of cutting. I was like, I lost all this weight, and I'm like, do I have to be like this forever? Just kind of depriving myself of food, and then eventually I saw, it's like, just bulk, man, put on some size, and I was like, that sounds good. Eat more food and lift heavier weights, and I did, and it was great. But then slowly started getting fat again. Then you have to cut. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. But you typically, I mean, for you would bulk more than you would have to cut.
Well, yeah, I'm not thinking of cutting anytime soon.
Right? So, For me, I don't need to bulk that long because I put on weight easier, but just try the average person could probably do like a 3-4 month bulk and then 2 month cut. I think that could work. I'm probably gonna cut from now and through summer, see how lean I can get, and then I'll probably do like a 4 or 5 month lean bulk through winter.
So you're starting at summer or starting now, or?
Starting now, I started last week
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
because I put on that vacation weight.
Right. But so okay, yeah, I'm going to make a Finish Line Fitness Instagram account. I hope you'll migrate over there, follow Shay in his escapades of gaining and cutting, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. There's going to be nutrition. There's going to be specific exercises walk through. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. He's a good leader. He knows what he's talking about, and he's going to be very helpful. And yeah, I want to thank you for, stepping in and offering to help me here.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.